Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're staying cool, especially if you're in the UK and we are in the middle of the heat wave. Although today is a bit cooler, so I hope you're all good and you're almost ready for the weekend. Well, I was hoping to make a different video today, but just like in Joker movie, all I have are negative thoughts at the moment about the whole situations, Xbox, Steam Machine, RAM, storage prices. It's absolutely awful. It's gonna be a bit of a rambling video, so apologize. I apologize from the beginning. Not a great structure to a video either, as always. So Xbox. Now I wanted to make a video about Xbox, like how it's always hated and how people basically hate on Xbox all the time because of the Microsoft. But this kind of shit just does not help. Like they announced higher prices for both Series S and X, and from 1st of August, Series S 512 gigabytes will cost you $499. That console when launched cost $300. Now it's $200 more. The console prices should go down, always down. Back in the day, when Xbox 360 launched, I couldn't afford it. I waited a year and I was able to afford it because the prices went down. Um, Series X, 1 terabyte, $800 now. Uh, that's an absolute ridiculous, ridiculous price at the moment. Um, I've bought mine Series X day one. So Series X 1 terabyte, day one for £450. £450. So that's about what, $500, something like that. $550. Can't remember now. Now it's $800. So about £700, £750, depending of how they're gonna calculate it. This is absolutely ridiculous. And obviously, it's not fully Xbox fault. Obviously, they don't control RAM or storage prices. However, you'd think company that it's run by Microsoft who has a massive, massive amount of money invested into AI, they should predict that the RAM and storage prices will keep increasing. Wouldn't that be quite clever for them to order much, much more or buy much, much more earlier? Like I don't know, like predict that. We couldn't predict that. I couldn't predict that it's gonna go that high so quickly. But I'm just a normal user, just a normal consumer. And a massive company like this, I would have thought that, oh yeah, we gonna think about it and order some more. I mean, you could say maybe that's why they were able to keep the prices lower, but they increased the prices back in October. As we read on the official Xbox Wire post, back in October, they already increased it by $20 to $70 in US and everywhere else. And obviously now they're increasing it by $100 for 512 gigabyte models and 150 for 1 terabyte models. It's just not good news. There's nowhere. It's like we had a period of good news for Xbox, and since the showcase, it just went downhill. First, we will learn about layoffs. We still didn't hear about layoffs, by the way. That news is still coming, so stay tuned. There will be a big news about layoffs in upcoming days. They even saying here that unfortunately console storage and memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027. Guys, doubling But so are you saying that you're gonna that those consoles gonna cost another $150 more in 2027? That's how I read that. I mean, fall 2027. No wonder that Asha Sharma recently said that they need to really think about the next Xbox, as in when to launch it, what kind of price, and what can they offer, or how can they make the price smaller, because that shit's gonna be expensive. Um, I could assume it's gonna have double the RAM that the current Xbox has. The processors and obviously motherboard, GPU, APU, it's not affected because the prices on those kind of staying the same. They're high by staying the same for now. Um, so it's the price of RAM and the storage that went skyrocketing. So the next Xbox, I don't know what the price is gonna be. However, recently we had the Steam Machine announcements. Lots of reviewers showed it out already. Linus Tech Tips, obviously. I watched his video. J J2 Cents also watched his videos. Gamer Nexus. Um, in general, consensus is that it's very, very disappointing machine. Obviously, Linus, as a massive Valve and Linux fan and Steam fan, I think he was quite soft on them. J2 Cents, that I also follow and I watch his videos, he was a bit more straightforward, like how disappointed he was with Steam Machine. Um, and yeah, so, and if you want to know prices, Steam Machine 512 gigabytes will cost you £879 or $1,049. That's without the controller. With a controller, it's $1,128 and £938. Now, bear in mind, Steam Machine can do 60 frames per second in Forza Horizon 6. Well, it can under some circumstances, but if you want just to play the same way, let's say like on Xbox Series S, for example, you won't be able to. This machine is basically on a level of machines that could have come out before Xbox Series X. On, it's somewhere between Xbox One X or Project Scorpio, how it was called, and Xbox Series X. It's somewhere in between there. It's both PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Pro, obviously. Xbox Series X can dance around that console, the Steam machine. So I don't know who that machine is for, to be honest with you. Who's gonna pay that much money to have games looking inferior? Who will pay that to have games running in 30 frames per second? I don't know. Obviously, not all of the games will run 30 frames per second. You're gonna have some games that won't, but you won't play the newest games. Definitely not like, let's say, if you expect to play Crimson Desert, for example. That's a big no-no. Obviously, Valve did say that they don't want to sell this console on a loss because it's a console. This is not a PC; it's a console. It was created to be in a fight with the consoles, not to be with a fight with the PC. Let's have that clear. Um, you could say, okay, Steam has the biggest library of games. That's true. but if you want to pay that much money for just having more games, I truly don't understand that. Maybe you can convince me in the comments why would someone buy Steam machine at these prices. If this Steam machine would have launched at, let's say, $600, that would be great. But that's obviously impossible with the current market. And obviously all the prices are, obviously we know who's at fault. It's AI. Storage prices and RAM prices. And Micron announced that they signed 16 strategic customer agreements. That includes a floor price that company says comes with a very robust gross margin for Micron, well above our peak quarterly margins in any past cycle. Let me translate that to you. They're gonna keep the high prices for storage and RAM for the next 5 years. That's basically what it means. There's no one that can compete with them. But there's Samsung, but I can imagine that those companies will do the same. And Micron is obviously the leading company in the RAM and storage components. In NAND and DRAM, yeah, guys. The next few years, so if you thought that the RAM prices are high and you're gonna wait out the same as me, basically don't wait. I mean, like, save money. Well, if you have a good enough machine, wait. Okay, sure, yeah, wait. If you can wait. But if you were hoping to buy yourself components and build yourself a new PC, then unfortunately you're gonna have to spend a lot of cash. That's it. You're gonna have to spend that cash on DDR5. Maybe wait for some sales. I saw on Amazon 32 gigs of DDR5, 6000 megahertz for about £300. That was the cheapest I've seen in weeks and months. But unless I kind of me hoping there will be some kind of Chinese company that will be able to compete with them, but I don't think so. At least not on this level. And obviously another bad news from Bungie. Most of the Destiny team are being impacted by today's layoffs at Bungie. So obviously Sony is making their reductions. It's funny. Obviously this is a big news if you know about this, but I can bet. And this is kind of I wanted to make this video, how people hate Xbox and how they always predict that the Xbox RIP, Xbox is dead and stuff like that. Because every time there are some big changes at Xbox, like layoffs, that's all I see, all those videos. Xbox is dying, Xbox in deep trouble. And you can go to in the past, let me just find those. Every few months you see either Linus, the end of Xbox as we know it. We constantly get videos like this. And I wanted to make a video where I'm saying, oh, why those guys keep hating on Xbox? I wanted to explain that. And how they never, or almost never, they only mention it. They never make a video about it. They never make a special long clips about it. How PlayStation also is reducing their stuff. PlayStation actually has closed more studios than Xbox in the recent years. Yet we don't hear about this as much. My explanation is because of Microsoft. People hate Microsoft. A lot of people hate them. And Xbox, as by proxy, is being hated on as well. I think that's the explanation I have. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think about that hate on Xbox. Clobbery from on X make a very good point. In hindsight, Xbox Series S at $300 when first launched looks like the best deal for a console launch ever. A device that will play Gears of War, EA, Grand Theft Auto 6 and Fable. Obviously, it will play those games in a lower resolution, less frames, but it will play them for $300. Imagine that. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, someone here posted they bought Xbox Series X on Amazon 3 years ago for $350. $350 for Xbox Series X. But here's the thing. With Xbox prices increasing, and wait for Nintendo. Nintendo already announced that the prices of Switch will go up in September. PlayStation will follow this as well. They already had one increase. They're going to have another increase pretty soon. Make sure to go on Facebook Marketplace. I constantly see PlayStations, Xboxes, not so much Nintendo Switches 2 yet, but Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 normal editions, but not the digital, the disc ones, for less than £300. So make sure go and just buy from there. This is way too much money to pay for any hardware. And on that note, I finished this video. I know quite depressing, but recently there are only depressing news. Well, at least the weather is nice. That's good news. And the World Cup is still on, so come on, England. All right. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye bye.